Hi viewers, welcome to the Acheron Process Accelerator YouTube channel. This is Hariharan. In this video, I am going to demonstrate our custom deployment of Camunda 8.6 release version. We have developed a Helm chart that successfully deploys Camunda 8.6 in this case and supports all these components of the Camunda platform. Once the chart is successfully deployed, we will be able to access, operate, Tasklist, optimize, identity, which is backed by Keycloak, which we also can access, and from their mapped ports respectively. This deployment also supports a horizontal pod autoscaling, which means it increases the replica count by 1 when the CPU usage of a particular pod exceeds 70%, which is set as default here and can be customized as per our requirement. Also, when the CPU stress on the pod decreases to less than 70% for a significant amount of time, then the replica count decreases by 1, releasing the resources for the other pods to use actually. So the minimum replica is set as 1 here and the maximum replica count is set as 5 here. And also we have leveraged Kubernetes wide components like persistence volumes, secrets, ConfigMaps, horizontal pod autoscalers, deployments, stateful sets, services for an efficient deployment. Now let's take a look at the deployment architecture of the particular Helm chart, where we are able to see that all the parts here, that is the task list, operate, optimize, identity, which are the core components, they are all attached to a service for a neat and stable communication. And each pod is having a HPA in case a need arises. Identity is backed up with Keycloak for the authentication. And ZB communicates with all the components via the exported data which is present in the Elasticsearch. Whereas the ZB gateway is itself is exposed to the client or the worker that is being referenced to here actually. This showcases the overall architecture of this particular deployment. This being said, let's move on to the live demonstration of the Helm chart. So this is the folder in which my chart.yaml is present, and this serves as my root folder. In this folder, we are having this template subfolder, which is having uh, all the templates that are available for this particular deployment. That is a deployment which contains deployments and stateful sets, persistence volumes and persistence volume claims, and horizontal pod autoscalers, services, and also config maps and secrets as part of this deployment actually. So with this, like I have started this terminal where I will be using the single node Kubernetes cluster Minikube for the deployment. Let me enable the metric server and dashboard first. Metric server is enabled in order to notice the metrics of the memory and CPU usage of a particular pod. And dashboard is also enabled in order to view the deployment status in the UI. Now let me verify whether I am in the Minikube context. But let me go with kubectl. Now in another terminal, let me start the dashboard actually. Dashboard. Let me click on enter. So the dashboard is deployed and is accessible. Here we are able to see the namespaces, and we are able to see the default namespace, and there is another namespace called as Camunda namespace, which itself is also an empty namespace which I have just created. So let's deploy our Helm chart inside this particular namespace. For that, let me come to the terminal back and type the install command, which itself is helm install camunda dot, which means everything double hyphen namespace Camunda namespace, which means we are deploying this particular Helm chart inside a namespace called as Camunda namespace. Let me click on enter. Here we are able to see that the name as Camunda and the status as deployed. So here we are now able to see the pods getting started one by one. Let's wait for all the status to be in the running state. In this replica sets, when we are trying to see the number of pods that are available here, for the identity, we are able to see 2 out of 2, the same way for operate and task list. Let's see the reason why. So let me run this command kubectl get all double hyphen namespace command namespace, which lists all the resources that's available in this particular namespace. Here we are able, if we are trying to see the CPU percentages, when we are seeing this Keycloak, we are able to see it as 121 percentage, which means it is greater than 70 percentage. And in this similar way, we will we, the CPU usage of this particular identity and the CPU usage of this particular task list or operate would have gone more than 70 percentage at one particular point of time when this metric server is checking for the CPU usage. So reacting to that, we have got more than one replica, so which is a part of horizontal pod autoscaling. As time progresses and the load increases, we are able to see even now another pod Keycloak also having another replica. So this is a demonstration of horizontal pod autoscaling. With this being seen, let's move to the browser in order to check whether this pods are accessible via the browser through the map reports. So here we are able to see in the dashboard that our deployments, pods, replica sets, and also the stateful sets are all in green state, which is in running state. So now let's go to the browser and point to the particular ports. For that, let me open an incognito window. So here, let me go for localhost 8081, which is the operate. So where I'm giving the demo credentials and I'm able to log it to operate. In the similar way, let me hit 8082, which should open task list, and localhost 8083, which should open the optimize where our maps views will be shown, and localhost 8084, where our identity is present, where we'll be able to see the roles, groups, users, and so on. And if we really want to go and see Keycloak, we can go for 18080, and here using our admin credentials we can sign in and we will be able to see the Camunda platform realm, where the different clients can be accessed with their different scopes, roles, and users, groups that are mapped, so on. So this is how we have deployed our Camunda platform 8.6 using the custom 8.6 Helm chart that we have developed. With this being demoed, we have successfully deployed Camunda platform using a Kubernetes cluster. Thanks for watching. To know more about us and what we do, please take a look at our description and leave a comment or email us in case of any queries. Thank you. Let's meet in another video.